Real quick, I got those that pair of Scar SDRs, reconed, 3-year warranty, JL audio, gaskets, wraparound gaskets, porta box, $300, and then I have it wired 2 ohm and 2 ohm. So if you want to wire it as 1 ohm, I would go with the Recoil Audio RED 1200.1, which provides up to 1500 watts RMS at 1 ohm. And if you want to be a little budget, that one's only 120. And then if you want to be a little budget, I can probably do it for like $70. I have a Planet Audio big 2-channel that's fused for 60 amps. So it ends up pushing out about 700 watts, which is still very good for a setup like this. It just depends on how budget conscious you are. But that one's here local. This is a used box somebody had. They had the I forget, I don't even remember what I called them, but they were like good for either sealed or ported, and they were good for about 250 watts each. But somebody put some Velcro on the bottom, which is always a good solution. I always like that. That way you don't have to have brackets. Sometimes people go into gas tanks and things like that. But I wanted to show you, I got one box is missing. I ordered 4 boxes. Each one is 4 pieces of the new Recoil Audio Dii3300.1. So, and I ordered these direct from Recoil. So I have plenty of those available. According to the dealer rules, I'm not allowed to advertise them for any less than $249. But technically, I never signed a dealer agreement. So if you like want to, I don't know, like you don't have to like grab my cock, but you can just like kind of like, you know, like, what's up? What's up? No, I mean, don't be flicking it like Bill Burr, right? But just like, what's up? Hey. 215? Yeah, like 215 is fine. So the other thought I was going to do was we can do them for 250 shipped, and then what I'll do is I'll do the 0 gauge aluminum kit if you want. So we do it as a combo for 250. That way we meet the minimum advertised price of 250 shipped to any state in the lower 48. Add $25 for Alaska, Hawaii, Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, and military. And then we'll figure out something else on the wire kit if you want to do the free wire kit. So, but yeah, and so that's the 0 gauge was the RCK0 kit. And tell you what, I'll do one even better. Is I'll give you the 6. It doesn't exist, but it would be called RCK06. Is that right? RCK. Yep, 06. So what it is it's an RCK0. Which is the 0 gauge CCA kit. It's oversized 0 gauge, but it comes with a 6-channel RCA. There you go. So that way you can lay down the RCAs one time and then not worry about it. So I also got in the GONZO 5Ks. We got 4 of those in. And if you're missing a bass knob, I had them included extra bass knobs. So for some reason we got a batch that was like not, like they weren't assembled right and they weren't turning correctly. So we got extra bass knobs. These are the ones with the clipping indicator on them. I don't know if you can see that. So, and it lights up blue. It's very nice. You know, these guts may be also used in the SFB 5000. I don't know for sure. I'm sure Jacob uses some proprietary thing. And then we're also doing the laser. We have laser available now. A laser, you have to provide the art. And it's only $50 to add laser. And then what's really great is like you can basically do drop shipping through me, which is like it'd be your cost on this would be $400, and that's shipped, and then you know resell it custom again with your client's graphics on it, even better, like or their car club or whatever, their dead mom or whatever you want to put on there. So your cost would be $400 shipped, and then you know sell to them for $800 to $1,000 or something like that. Easy money. We will of course repackage that so that it's just a blank box. I don't even include the manual, so because it's kind of a giveaway. Shows all that stuff. But I also got the coils in from Lord of Bass. It says 2 of 2, but George told me there was like 5 boxes of coils that I ordered, so I'm not sure about those yet. I also got in my other box of, I think these should be 3-inch D4s, and also the 2 5/8, which is like 65, 66 millimeter, for the like Type R's and Punch P3s. That's those, all D4 coils. We're just gonna go with that just because it's a thinner wind and it'll fit in either gap, either the D2 gap or the D4 gap. It doesn't really make a difference. And so we're gonna just make all the P3s D4. So there's that. We also got the batteries in. 30 something, almost 40 amp hour used. We're just gonna clean them up. We're doing these for like $100 shipped. They're great for resale, great for RVs, great for their lithium iron phosphate. So they, you know, do lots and lots of cycles, and they sit right at about 13.8, if I remember right. What else? It's not really a full shop update, but I will be doing the reviews later today for the waterproof amps with Bluetooth. Also, oh, the Shawsbot. Yeah, so this is going to be the production model. Shawsbot 10 dual 4 with the carbon fiber concave cap, 3-year warranty, $200 local, $250 shipped. And you can do the same thing on these too. Like if you want to do some sort of laser graphic on the dust cap, we can do that as well. If you have cut vinyl, we can either just throw it in the packaging for you, and then you should be selling these for probably $500 each. If you just compare them to the W6, it fucking stomps the W6 in the ground. This is the one that I tested that I put up against even the W7. So it outperforms the W7. It's 1,000 watts RMS, 3-inch copper coil, plays to 30 hertz. It's fucking great. You put it in like 1 cubic foot, it's amazing. So yeah, $200 local and then $250 shipped to any state in the lower 48. I also got the sample in for the 12-inch Shawsbot, which I have not done the initial testing to figure out if we need to add mass in this little gap. It already comes with the inner cap, and then we can decide what we want to do on the outer cap. Hang on real quick. For all intents and purposes, I think the convex 180 shiny carbon fiber looks the best on this, so you can tell me though. Let's see if the concave version will touch that. Oh, on my way back, we got a local shop to make these for us who has a CNC router, and so these are the adapter plates for the MTX Base Slammer 12-inch enclosures. They come from the factory with the square cutout. I think whatever Jackhammer or whatever series, whatever MTX was making square woofers for a minute. And I believe, yeah, I think with some small modification, it depends on which L7 you have, because Kicker actually changed the specs on their L7s over the years. And so we can look at those and then figure out if we need to modify for you. But if you don't need it modified, the box is only $80 local. With the adapter, it's $100. And it's 1.7 cubic foot at 34 hertz. And so we've been doing them for like these subs and for even the bigger subs that have the just, you know, big magnets like the Gonzo Grinch and stuff like that. So I'm doing this one today as well, the Bele, B-E-L-E, Bele. I'm going to show you how to that. And I'm also going to give you the gap dimensions and the bolt hole circle pattern on this, as well as some of the motor dimensions. No, it's not quite broad enough. It hits the top of this. So, and I don't really like that gap. If we got a 200 millimeter version, that would fit better. Of course, I would love one that fits the whole. That would probably be what, about 210 millimeter to fit the whole cone. That would look really cool. So, and then the regular TC Sounds gasket. Again, these are 3-inch. I think this one is also dual 4. We've been having a lot of good luck with those lately, just because the Recoil Audio Dii3300.1 is 2 ohm stable, but it's a very small Class D and it's only $100. So that's the price point that gets it. A lot of people, you know, they're like, oh, I like the RED amps because they're 1 ohm stable. That's great and all, but what's cool about the DI amps and the DII amps is that they have a built-in LOCs, and they come with the bass knob. It doesn't have a clipping indicator, but it still does well. And for $1,200 for $100 shipped, you can't really beat that. And it's a really good combo for this one, along with the MTX Base Slammer enclosure. So again, cheap combos, unbadged, good for resale. Okay. Also got in this Boston G2 that I'll be doing a review on. Basically, 60 seconds of excursion, and then we'll follow up with the TSPs. And there's one thing I really like about it, but I'll tell you in the review. Oh, we also got this Sunfire subwoofer locally. I'll be pulling that apart to show you what the guts look like, and it's for sale. That's what I meant to show you, was the new spiders. So what we did was we noticed that Lord of Bass was short on the 8.5 inch spiders. Yeah, 8.5 inch. And so we asked our vendor, because we use these normally, and then I just cut them out for 3 inch right on that first roll. And it's not that hard. It's really easy. I can just do it in like 30 seconds. And so we decided to get these extra large on the outside so that we could use them on the TC Sounds frames. Again, you just modify the ID for 3 inch, but there's also a lot of frames that use a 2.5 inch with a 8.5 inch OD. So these are going to be really handy. These are priced the same, which is we do $15 each plus $5 for the clamp ring. This one, I think we can use the 8-inch clamp ring, and then what you do is you cut a relief in it, and it'll just have a little spread. We can include like a little piece that's like maybe 1/2 inch or whatever the gap is, to make it spread out so that it clamps on the landing rather than on the inner, where it normally is on 8 inch. It'll clamp out at 8.5 inch. So again, yeah, $15 each for these. These are like a medium stiffness. These are actually single layer. That whole thing with, dual layer, triple layer, that doesn't mean anything. What it really comes down to is how much of the phenolic resin that they put on it. That's what determines how stiff it is. And that's where I was critical of a company like DD that used really, really, really cheap spiders, but then just put like 5 or 10 in a pack and then really doused them with phenolic resin, so much so that when you would like not break it in, it would just break. It would just crack, which is, again, it's poor engineering and it's cheap. And I don't know why a company with that kind of prestige would do something like that, but I see that kind of stuff all the time from those guys. Again, it's I think it's dumb, but this thing is very affordable. It's poly cotton. It doesn't need to be Nomex. They work really great. They last for years. And then we went back down to just 2 leads, because a lot of the woofers that we would do where we would double up the leads for like a single voice coil, this is plenty. So for right around 1500 up to 1500 watts, which was plenty for something like this. Even on something like a U series, from Sundown or something like that. Oh yeah, and then we just got in the it's a U series frame or SA V2 whatever, and it's the same frame. And then they used I think a Z version 2. Let me show you the motor real quick. So there it is. So to me that looks like a ZV3, but I'm having a hard time remembering what they look like. So, but I told them I would zap them for free, just because when they get really hot, sometimes it like you can see the vapor particles from the anodization of the inside of the coil vaporized because the coil got red hot. And I think they used aluminum. Yeah. So if anybody can identify that writing from who did that, to me that looks like Phi, but I don't know for sure. But you can see the discoloration. So, but I'll probably use another aluminum, and I think we're using D1s, maybe a D4 copper to make them play a little bit lower. And then also they went with 1, 2, 3 stiff spiders. So we may just do like 2, what is it, that Lord of Bass red spider, and then we do a support spider underneath it. A lot of people liked the results on that, especially when I did the Sunfire subs with that combo. They're like, yeah, I can really kick it now. And it's like, it actually raised the FS a bit to about 36, 37. But again, it's subjective. Whatever you like, go for it. I also got some of the adapters back for the Rockford T2s. This one, that one. So, and I have some motors here if somebody wants me to build them a top assembly. 18 inch, 21 inch, 24 inch. We have all the parts for those. 15 inch. I don't recommend a 12 inch, even though for Ryan Buck, I'm making a 12 inch because I tell you what, man, he fucking deep throats. I mean, it's only 7¼ inches, but he deep throats it, so it's like, that's amazing. Oh, and then we cast this this one. We're just waiting for the epoxy to cure. This one was the Def Bonce. It was like 2 3/4 inch pole piece, and so we opened up the ID on the top plate, and then we extended the pole. Let me get a better look at that. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 of those, and then here I'll show you the back. Whatever that was. I showed it to you in a previous video, but we'll clean all that off. It's all just gooey, sticky. Some naphtha will clean that up. So this is the beehive motor, what I call beehive motor. It's not the full size 220 millimeter. I think this is 190 millimeter. It still does really well. It would be on par with an XV3 or even a little bit more than that. Let me see. Yeah, ZV5, ZV6. It doesn't quite have the, I would say ZV6 because the ZV6 actually has a thinner top plate. And it's even, again, which is fine, especially if you're using a really tall wind height. I think I did this one up for the GONZO Junior coil, which is 70 millimeter wind height. And then I have that in single 2 or single 1. And then we have the wide bolt pattern, both 127 and 135, if I remember right. So we can use the version 2 15-inch frames, 18-inch frames, and the 12-inch frames if you want to build this out. For this, I'd probably do it for like $450 shipped as a 12, and then a little bit more as a 15, and then I'll even, whatever you sign it, rub my dick on it, whatever you want. Fuck, even if you want to make it a 10. I mean, I'd rather use the TI frame so we can make it removable, because I would not like to ship this like this. This is asking to be killed. Oh, I also have a pair of these motors. I did as an SQ modeling. Let me see if they fit the LA Storm frames. Yeah, they fit, but the bolt holes don't line up. You would need to get one from like Lord of Base that has this filled in so you could use the 127 millimeter bolt pattern. This is the original concept LMT top plate. And then we did a double slug 220 millimeter, and then the T-yokes. There's a pair of these. The T-yoke is the TC9 T-yoke. So those are for sale if you want me to build them out for you or whatever. Okay, so we finally got people to come in and buy in on the new Neo motor, and I am really inspired. I don't want to say I'm inspired by the Tesla truck. I think the Tesla truck is reminiscent of a movie called Logan's Run. This is a super low budget movie, but it used to replay all the time on Channel 5 here locally, and I don't know, there's something about it that it's a very good sci-fi, and it's weird, creepy, but again, it's super low budget. But that's going to be sort of the inspiration for the design that I'm going to put on this. I did want to have the drawing, I'm having the drawing made as a copy first, and then the only change that we do is we add the different bolt patterns on here. And if you want that version, you have to buy 100 of them, but we can get that version made. My version, I want to do a couple things like maybe add a second Neo slug. The other thing I wanted to do was fill in this area. And also, if we could just move that slug down lower, I think, in fact, I'd love to put it down to the bottom away from where it gets hot up at the top. And then also lots and lots of ventilation on the lower half and in the back, just to give lots of surface area, just to let it breathe and have a sort of, very 45-degree angle kind of look to it. Again, kids nowadays would say Tesla truck. Oh, it looks like Tesla truck. But if you go watch, again, if you go watch Logan's Run, which you probably watch for free on YouTube or something like that, you know what? If I look at it now, it's probably like super goofy because it's like really, really, really low budget. But again, when you're 5-6 years old and you're watching this, it's pretty far out. Yeah, we're going to play with the design on this, and I just want to make it a really good improvement. The top plate, though, however, will be the same diameter. We'll add all the different bolt patterns. 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll have 4 different bolt patterns, and it'll be retro compatible with the LA Storm top assemblies, whether it be lower to base or ones that you got from the TC Sounds buyout, or if you got them original from Lightning Audio Rockford Corporation, Lightning Audio Storm series. So I'm also doing a pair of these, which is a JL Audio 12W7 motor with a 10-inch TI frame. I think I'm actually going to bring it up a little bit, maybe about at least 10 millimeter, if not 20 millimeter, just to stay away from that stupid, again, this is like a Jacob Fuller dildo. Again, they just extended this for cooling. That's the only reason why JL did it. I always remove the stupid screens in the back, because you don't want anything to impede that, and you want as much cooling in here as possible. Remember that you can actually do this too. We already have the drawing up for this one. We just haven't had any real need to put it in production. But again, all their patents are basically expired last year, fully on this year. There's a bunch of different methods you can do to instead of just the holes. You can do slices like Jacob does, and some other stuff. He uses like a diamond cut saw, so probably 100 millimeter, and then just makes the plus signs and all that kind of stuff. Either way, whatever it takes to make the surface area show up more. So that's all. But those should be pretty hardy, pretty beefy, and I'd love to get the TSPs on those. I think he's doing, yeah, we're doing dual 2 on those as well. And then he has, I think, yeah, he has a 1000/1 for each one. So pretty hardy. I'll end with this one, because I'm getting ready. I got to get ready. She already left for the day, and so I got to get ready for a bunch of builds that we're doing with all the Vato Extreme motors. We're turning all those into 12s, and this was I don't think this is the modified version. Yeah, the other modified version is over there. That one. The bolt hole circle on it is kind of broad, and I had this SPLX frame that fit it. So for some reason I had a bunch of patterns on it, and I was like, oh, let's try this. And I think it's like a 160 millimeter pattern. It's kind of wide. I don't remember what model that was from, but I ended up replacing the ferrite on it. So it's oversized from this. Both these are from the like L715 from a couple years ago. And so for this one, I'm making it a 12, and then the other one with the oversized ferrite, I'm making a 15. I think this one is a dual 4, and this one might be a dual 4 as well. Again, like I said, yeah, this one's going to be a dual 4 as well. Again, like I said, we've had a lot of good luck with these Recoil Audio Dii3300.1s. Yes, they are only 2 ohm stable, but sometimes for a D4 sub, that's all you need. And 1200 watts for a little sub like this is fucking plenty. So, I'll do some more videos and reviews. Thanks, guys.